June 13, 2025. Israel launches a surprise attack on Iran. A new chapter in Middle East history begins. Hundreds of Israeli airstrikes hit Iran's nuclear facilities, including Natanz and Fordo, as well as military bases and missile infrastructure. Top generals like Mohammad Bagheri and nuclear scientists are among the dead. Iran calls the Israeli airstrikes a declaration of war. Within hours, Tehran launches ballistic missiles and combat drones toward Israeli cities. A deadly exchange begins. Iron Dome intercepts many incoming rockets, but not all. Iranian missiles strike a research center in Rehovot and apartment buildings in Bat Yam. Civilians are caught in the crossfire. The first days of war are brutal. Iran reports 220 to 400 deaths, mostly military personnel and scientists. Civilian casualties in Tehran are also confirmed. Despite Israel's missile defense, over 20 civilians are killed and hundreds are injured. From Haifa to Tel Aviv, sirens, fire, and fear grip the streets every night. Prime Minister Netanyahu announces a wave of retaliation. More airstrikes on Tehran. The goal: destroy Iran's nuclear program completely. Iran vows painful revenge. In just days, Israel dominates Iran's airspace. It destroys key missile launchers, bases, and storage facilities. Tehran fires its 12th wave of Sejil 2 missiles, hoping to overwhelm Israeli defense systems. The Middle East is at war. The world holds its breath. This is just the beginning. June 18, fighting continues. Iran launches another wave of Sejil 2 missiles. Most are intercepted, but several strike Netivot. Civilians are among the dead. In Iran, chaos spreads. Power plants, factories, and communication hubs are destroyed. Mass blackouts hit Tehran and Esfahan. Hospitals are overwhelmed. The UN declares a humanitarian crisis. At sea, Israel imposes a blockade on Iran's southern ports. Meanwhile, Houthi rebels in Yemen strike vessels in the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Global trade routes are now under threat. In Iraq, Iranian-backed militias strike the Al-Assad U.S. airbase. The United States responds with limited airstrikes. President Trump says, "The U.S. does not seek war, but we will not back down." Hezbollah announces full mobilization in southern Lebanon. Israel strikes the Bekaa Valley. A third front opens. War spreads to the Israel-Lebanon border. In Syria, tensions spike. A Russian S-400 system shoots down an Israeli drone. The Kremlin warns against violations of sovereign airspace. In Tehran, anti-government protests erupt. Citizens blame the regime for provoking war. The Revolutionary Guard cracks down brutally. Over 600 are arrested. In Israel, protests grow too. Thousands gather in Tel Aviv demanding a ceasefire. Some reservists refuse to report for duty. The UN Security Council meets in emergency session, but the US and Russia block each other. No resolution passes. China calls for immediate ceasefire talks. A deepfake video spreads online, showing alleged Israeli use of chemical weapons. It's fake, but millions believe it. Digital warfare becomes part of the real war. Israel releases drone footage showing the destruction of Iran's underground Fordo facility. Iran denies it, but analysts confirm structural damage. Experts warn this war has no clear end. Israel cannot destroy Iran's regime. Iran cannot defeat Israel. A long, grinding conflict looms. Back-channel diplomacy begins. India, Turkey, and Brazil offer to mediate. Leaks suggest secret US-Iran talks may be taking place in Oman. Oil hits $110 per barrel. Global markets tumble. The EU calls an emergency energy summit. Germany and France push for a ceasefire. The Iran-Israel war of 2025 rages on. The world watches and waits. Is this the start of a wider regional collapse?